Simplifying your life is about optimizing its areas, finances, home, relationships, etc. The main reason for that is to free up the space, the energy, the time for things that matter to us the most, like our families or our hobbies. And today I'm going to share the ways I simplified my life, or at least I try to. And the best part is that all these 50 steps are very simple and easy to imply, so you don't really need a lot of energy for that. I divided everything in several areas of our lives, and we are going to start with finances. So how to simplify your finances. Put your bills first. I know some people say that pay yourself first and put some money aside for your future, but I really like sleeping peacefully knowing that I have no debts. This is why I have never taken any loans, and probably I'm lucky to live in the country where they are not at your fingertips. But if you still have any bills that are unpaid, I cannot recommend more paying them first, because the peace that it gives is enormous. Keep a wish list. Never buy things on the spot right away after you wanted it. Put the things in your wish list. It's so simple to do. Just take a note, and later, if you still want this thing in 30 days, in 2 months, then buy it. Always make your grocery list or shopping list when you go shopping or grocery shopping. This saves a lot of money and time spent on looking for things. Save up an emergency fund. I think this is crucial for you to sleep well, because you don't have to worry about the tomorrow's emergency that may emerge and you will not have enough money for that. So saving up at least $1,000 to have at your hand at any given time is very relieving for me. Stop giving gifts. This might be controversial, and I think that especially on the West, it's a big culture of gift giving on every single event. But for me, I found a lot more use in giving your attention, help, maybe cooking something for the gathering that you are going on. I think that we need to stop being so dedicated to giving gifts that people didn't even ask for it. There are a lot of gifts that end up on the landfills just because we have this massive culture of spending time and money on gifts and then giving people what they didn't even want. Have only one debit card you use. There are only two things that I take with me, which is my transport card and my debit card. I don't have a lot of money spread in different cards. It's very simple to just keep everything in one place. Learn to live below your means. If you still spend more than you make, then it is time to finally break the circle and regularly do a no spend challenge. It can be a day, it can be a week, it can be a month, doesn't matter. But freeing up time for something other than shopping and saving up some money is the great result that no spend challenges may give you. Unsubscribe from brands, whether it's the newsletters on your emails or just notifications, SMS, doesn't matter. Just unsubscribe from them all. If you need something, you will go and search it. If you don't need all these marketing tricks to influence you. How to simplify your life in the mental health area. But before we move on, please hit the like button if you're enjoying this video, and please share some of your wisdom in the comments, mentioning what's the one thing on top of your mind that have influenced your life the most and simplified it the most. Say no more often to people, to offers, to unnecessary obligations. Just practice it more, and the faster you start doing it, the easier it will be later. Be grateful. Whether you just have grateful thoughts at the end of the day or you just write them down in your gratitude journal, doesn't matter. But being grateful every day for little things in your life helps to being happy. Don't read or watch the news. No, you will not become indifferent or ignorant if you don't read news. Only if you have a great desire to volunteer, to help, just see what's going on around you and where you can help. But if not, you will definitely know this news from your friends or family anyway, so you don't need to be exposed to so much negativity in your everyday life. Have the time to think. For me, such time is when I'm in the shower. I know people who watch some videos or news or some podcasts when they are in the shower even. Bedtime anxiety and insomnia may come to you just because you didn't let your mind think when it could. So when it has some free time, for example at night, it starts to think and give you more anxiety than you want, especially when you're trying to fall asleep. Explore hobbies that help you eliminate stress. So find something that is soothing, that helps you wind down and reduce stress. Set a time for doing nothing. You don't have to be busy 24 hours a day. Just set up 15-30 30 minutes when you can be just bored and enjoy staring at the wall. Declutter social media. There are so many ways that you can be in the communities, reconnect with people, but do you need them all? I myself reduced the amount of social media I use to YouTube and Instagram, so I don't read Facebook, Twitter, etc. And I find that this frees up a lot of time and a lot of energy in my life. Accept yourself. It took me a while to realize that I will not be a girl boss, a successful, resilient entrepreneur. I will be just me. I'm not a person who can do all these stressful, difficult jobs. I'm finally trying to teach that picture of my future ideal dream self that I know I will never be. Don't pursue happiness, pursue meaning. Happiness cannot be pursued, it must ensue. One must have a reason to be happy. It's not the happiness that we need to pursue, it's the small reasons every day or the bigger reasons throughout our whole life that gives us meaning, that gives us happiness. So this is what we need to have more in our lives, which is finding the reasons to be happy rather than pursuing happiness, the feeling itself. Declutter unwanted relationships. If you've got toxic family members or friends that you have no common interests with, you can simply stop communicating with them. You will still be a person you are, kind and friendly, but it will make your life a lot easier and mental health a lot more stable. How to simplify your home and wardrobe. Focus on what you can control. If you cannot reorganize your whole house right now or declutter the whole house right now, focus on what you can control. Either it's just one drawer or maybe one part of wardrobe that you want to handle now. Don't try to do everything. Focus on small steps that you can control today or maybe this week, and this will be enough for you to start or to make a next step or to keep progressing and moving on. Limit your options. Sometimes our home gets so hard to manage because we have too many options of what cleaning supplies to use, clothes to wear, furniture to buy, home decor to choose. Just limit your options from meals to choose to eat in the morning to the amount of clothes in your wardrobe that you can wear. Wash your clothes less. You don't need to wash it every day. Find a moment when they are dirty and wash them only then. Not just because you wore them, but because they are dirty, and they will last you a lot longer after that. Focus on cleaning your surfaces. Surfaces are just magnets to things. Probably you know about that, and if you focus on cleaning them, your space will look a lot more cleaner and tidier. Buy more baskets. Baskets are a game changer when it comes to organizing your space and making it look more neat. Need versus want. If you want to buy something, just ask yourself this small question: do I really need it or do I simply want it? Maybe you need more questions to justify your purchase, but I find that this question is a great start for me to reduce impulse shopping. Reduce visual clutter. I know there are people who can bear a lot of visual clutter, but if you know that you are more sensitive, that you get irritated fast, that you get tired fast, that you are emotional, then maybe visual clutter is something to also take care of, because this may give you more stress. 30-day decluttering. Of course, I revise my home every now and then to see if I have something to declutter or to optimize, but when I think of one thing that helped me simplify my home the most, it was the 30-day decluttering challenge. On the first day I decluttered one thing, on the second day I decluttered two things, and on the 30th day I had to declutter 30 pieces of something. And even on the 30th day I was like, oh, this small piece of paper on the floor, it also counts. It was hard sometimes to find pieces to declutter. Despite all this frustration and pushing your limits more, I found that it was the most effective thing that helped me to simplify my home the most. Treat the problem right away. Whether these are ants on your porch or pests on your flowers or clogged pipes, just try to handle it right away, because later you will see how harder it is to tackle such kind of problems versus tackling them in the very beginning. Dedicate to teaching your family to divide responsibilities at home fairly. It took a lot of effort for me, honestly, to divide our chores fairly at home, but when I did that, this is so relieving. I hate the idea that a family just helps the mom or the housewife to do stuff at home. It's not helping. All family members should do something at home, not just help, you know. Tidy as you go. It takes some learning curve, but when I learned to do a little bit more when I'm just going around the house, it helped me to keep my home a lot tidier. Do a little more. When you wash your dishes, wash your sink along the way. It will take only 5 minutes more, but it will impact your space and how it feels. If you vacuum the floor, for example, vacuum behind your bed, that you do really rarely, but why not do this time? If you wipe in your surfaces, wipe the boards along with it in one room, and it will take a little bit of time, but in the end of the day, it will not require for you to deep clean the whole house. That can be very exhausting. Clean or cook in your breaks. When I have a break at work, I tend to always look at my phone, but when I catch myself doing that, I always say to myself, just clean a little bit, wash something, or maybe cook something. It will help your mind rest a lot better than just scrolling your phone, and it will also add a little bit more to the tidiness. Don't go to bed with a full kitchen sink. I still have to work a lot on that, honestly, but I find that if I leave my sink empty before I go to bed in the morning, I will feel a lot calmer and a lot more satisfied when I walk into this kitchen. How to simplify your productivity and become more productive even with just small steps. Eat the frog. Do the most impactful and important thing in the morning, especially if this is something that scares you a little bit. This is definitely what you have to start your day with. When you're working, hide your digitals out of your sight. I find this very helpful because if I see my phone, I grab it and I just scroll something from TikTok or Instagram. But if I don't have it at my side, it's a lot easier to fight this temptation to have a look at something and receive a little bit more of that dopamine. Plan your leisure time. I already mentioned it in this video, but just one more time. If you don't plan your leisure time in the end of the week or in the end of the day, you will simply turn on the TV and spend the several hours mindlessly. But if you plan your leisure time, whether it's like writing in the journal, handling your finances, or watering plants, it will make your evening time a lot more meaningful. Brain dump. Your brain is for creating ideas, not storing them. So make sure you write down ideas that you have, to-do lists, wish lists, and some sort of a list versus just keeping them in your mind. Replace your yearly goals with your quarterly goals. I applied this principle when I read the book The 12-Week Year, and I find that it's a lot more effective than spreading your goals throughout your whole year. It helps you be more effective throughout these weeks and to switch directions if needed in the middle of the year, the real year, not the 12-week one. Limit your to-do list. Sometimes we just have so many things in our to-do list that it feels overwhelming for our mind to even start it. So limit it to 5 most important points, and if you have free time then tackle the rest. And yeah, make your to-do list. Maybe in the evening it will take only 5 minutes, but the next day you will not be like absent-mindedly looking for stuff that you have to do right now, and it will be a lot easier for you to know what you should be doing at the moment. Forget about inspiration. Amateurs sit and wait for inspiration. The rest of us just get up and go to work. It may sound a little bit toxic, but I realized that inspiration is not something to rely on. Your personal attitude and your personal self-discipline is something that you want to develop in yourself to be able to work in many circumstances that inspiration doesn't give you to work in. Set your priorities. If you don't know what your life global priorities are, sometimes you can be confused in what you should be doing and what you should be productive in. And if you want to explore this topic more, I will leave my video about essentialism here because it really changed my life in terms of how I approach my priorities. Make more food. Now I don't really cook for just one meal. I usually do it for at least 4 meals because it saves time, it saves your energy, and it gives you an opportunity to not think about what you will eat tomorrow, but to use leftovers from the yesterday. So I find that cooking a little bit more every time helps a lot. Write down all your passwords. This is really important, I think, and eliminates confusion in your life if you just have all your passwords written down in your notes. Turn off your notifications. This is life-changing. Really, when I turned off the notifications on my phone, I don't really pay that much attention on my phone anymore. I can be really focused and stay productive for longer because nothing distracts me. How to simplify your health. Health is something that is very hard to control. There are so many temptations around us and it is very hard to implement exercise in your daily life, I really know. But now I will share a few things that helped me to be a little bit healthier. Stop buying unhealthy snacks. In December in the last year, we decided to stop buying any sweets, although before we bought it like every day. It was a rule for us. But we decided to stop doing that for just 1 month. And after this month, it was a lot easier to stop just buying unhealthy stuff for us. So maybe this 1 month thing will work for you too. But if not, just try to buy less unhealthy snacks and it will reduce unhealthy impact on your body. Go outside after lunch. Whether it's just going on your porch or maybe having a small stroll around your district, I don't know. I find that after lunch is the best time when you want to help the soul process in your digestive organs and have some time for yourself to go outside and look at the trees. Also, going outside improves health and like mental well-being, so it's definitely something to consider. Prioritize your routines. When you wake up, when you go to bed, when you eat, when you look at the sun, when you start to dim your lights. This is all a part of your routine and you need to prioritize it to stay healthy. Use a habit tracker. Habit trackers have proven to be very effective for people to change their routines and habits. If you haven't ever tried a habit tracker for becoming a person you want to be, please try it because it can be really helpful in setting new habits and ditching the habits that you don't like. Always have fruit at your home, at your site. I find that this helps me to get enough vitamins for the day. If I just have a bowl of fruits every day at my side in the kitchen, because you will eat what is at your side. If you have chocolate bars at your side, you will eat chocolate bars. If you have apples and bananas at your side, you will eat apples and bananas. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. It helps to spread the idea of simple life further on YouTube. And if you want to join me in the small community on Instagram, please check the link in the description. I want to thank my patrons for supporting me along this whole journey on YouTube, and recently I shared with them a vlog where I cooked the traditional Ukrainian Easter cake, and I think this was very friendly and soulful. So if you want to watch that, please check out my Patreon page and consider subscribing to one of the tiers. If this was not enough for you and you want to simplify your life further, please watch this video next because it also contains a lot of useful and valuable information. And have the most wonderful day. Goodbye, guys.